Dear Mother, we beat Miss May. But near the end of the battle, Mother, she changed. She looked like me, and I thought just maybe she could give me answers. She might know. Maybe we were the same. But Mother, I lost focus. I wasn't thinking, and I showed what I am. And Mother, now they know. And you always said that if I didn't show it, that if I hid it, I'd be fine. But Mother, I'm scared. Mother, for the first time, I felt like I may have found friends. But now they know, Mother. And now it's over.
Apparently. Michael! There's no voices, Michael! There's no voices!
Apparently there's no voices.
Apparently!
I guess not.
Oh,
Check.
get us canceled.
Check. Can anybody hear me?
Can you hear us?
Test. There are no voices. There are no voices.
We've been kidnapped. Please tell us.
Bring back the voices.
Where are the voices?
Twitch chat, if you can, chime in and let me know if we've got voices yet.
They just said, wait.
Wait.
I don't know what that means.
Oh.
And then now a Pikachu.
A Pikachu. Does that mean we have voices?
I can hear now.
I don't hear
Okay.
anything.
We're good.
You can hear.
Is your volume up?
Do we have volume on Delve and Dash tonight, folks? We do. Oh.
Yeah,
have
mine
volume?
just had to buffer real quick.
Where's the volumes?
We might have fixed it. And
I
like,
hear it, so
woo!
Does that mean?
Someone just said there is no voices.
Does
No.
that?
Oh,
I can
does
hear them.
that mean
We fixed
they
it.
didn't hear the recap?
They heard the recap because I could hear the recap.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
when
was-
I turn on the speaker, it works.
I think the issue was with OBS for some reason. I'm showing some drop frames, so I'm not sure what was going on, but I got it fixed, I think. So welcome back. I'm not going to do that whole spiel again, but we want to thank our sponsor, DiceBard. You can type in !DiceBard to get a link to their website. Order some awesome dice and use the promo code PROBO for free expedited shipping on your order. So thanks, DiceBard. We appreciate you. Thank you guys all for joining in with us tonight as we continue on our adventure. And we just heard a little recap from our character Raz and the unveiling of her new form from last week as they defeated Miss May, the green hag that's been living near the location of the dredging ship, the Lockjaw. You guys are headed back, and this is a bad DM problem. You guys remember, you guys had found that dwarven woman that was tied up with Miss May. It was we totally forgot about her last week when you guys left. So I'm retconning a little bit and say that you guys carried her out too.
Yeah, Franklin would have.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
And Raz, go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with a roll.
That's not a very good one.
Okay.
But,
Two?
No.
I was gonna say
7
no.
plus 5.
I was gonna say no. That's not very good at all. 7 plus 5?
No, that was me going do trying to find things because I'm very bad at reading. So that's 12.
12. 12's probably good enough for Raz to know.
I didn't realize I had a +5, so it's not actually that bad.
Franklin,
I have really good insight.
Franklin, go
You're
ahead.
talking about medicine?
Franklin, I'll let you roll. I don't think Silver or Vix would have any idea. So
About medicine?
no, for this insight roll. So I'm gonna let Franklin go ahead and roll for it too.
Vix doesn't
18.
18. You guys don't really say anything, but you have the hunch that this woman may be early on in a pregnancy.
Oh,
Vix would have no idea.
It's like not extremely visible, but probably getting to that stage where starting to show a little baby bump.
so like 4 months?
Maybe, yeah. It's probably about it.
I actually, Annika knows nothing about
I'm
what
If I make a
pregnancy stages
medicine
are,
roll
so
and I know for sure.
I know everything about pregnancy stages. Just ask me. I have all the pamphlets. Let me go grab them real quick.
You see,
You would,
when I'm
Jamie,
not
you
a
would.
wolf, I'll make a medicine roll and maybe I could find out exactly how far along she is.
like
Down to the second.
Franklin's just like, it's gonna be a girl. Wait, it's gonna be a girl. That's
accurate.
That's it. So you guys are headed back through the marshlands, and for those of you who are watching on Twitch right now, I apologize for the music. They are not currently in a mill town, but this was the only music I could find in 2 minutes because I forgot about Roll20's jukebox. My bad.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yes. So you guys are headed back. You have a little bit of journey ahead of you. You have some options. You could head back towards Franklin's Monastery. You could head back to the Lockjaw. Or you could head back to Woodhurst. Or you could just leave. Wherever you want to go. But I leave it to you.
Well, we have quests to turn in at the Lockjaw, so may as well head there.
Raz is at the back of the party. Whatever the marching order is, she's at the back, just silent.
Vix is
Has
back
not said
there with
anything.
her holding her hand.
Okay.
I'm also not leaving direwolf form until my 4 hours are up.
Or if she doesn't let him hold her hand, he holds her waist or whatever, like her pants. Because he's so short. It's probably like right where her knee is.
Awesome.
Aren't we supposed to find something from the ship too? A drill or something like that?
That was just sort of ambient. We haven't found it, though.
Okay.
We didn't know if it was this way or not. We just knew that it was missing.
Why is everybody so
So then,
quiet?
which is closer, the Woodhurst or the Lockjaw?
The Lockjaw is closer.
Okay, so we should stop at the Lockjaw so that they could find out what we found out.
Okay.
Or at least that's the way Franklin's walking, so...
Yeah, we're just following him.
Okay. You'll make it to the Lockjaw well before your 4 hours are up, Franklin.
That's okay.
It's up to you whether you would like to approach as a dire wolf.
I'm approaching as a dire wolf with the crew.
Okay. All right. You head back to the Lockjaw, and as you guys are approaching, it's kind of like probably mid-afternoon, I would say, because you guys did have a long rest before traveling down and beating up the Red Cap, and then heading into your confrontation with Miss May. You can see that there's a couple crew members on board, and as soon as they see you guys coming and a giant wolf there with you, it seems like a little bit of panic sets in, and they just run away.
And I have sort of changed my form back to my initial
Your initial
look
form?
that the party saw.
Okay, perfect. All right.
I poke her hand while she's changing form to see if it's like my magic kind of, or if this is like her. You know what I mean? Like, does it feel magical?
Go ahead and describe that for us, Ani. Would he be when you shift your forms? Is there any like when he does his disguises?
Mm-hmm.
If you touch him, you still feel kobold.
Mm-hmm. So this is like, I mean, for my hand, really all that would change would be the color, sort of back to a more humanoid color. But if you were watching it sort of in slow motion, because it happens very quickly, you would essentially see the color just sort of go back into the hair. It would turn brown instead of the silvery, and there would just be sort of like pigment would just sort of fill the skin, like going out from like the heart, sort of running down until it like covers everything. And the last thing to change back is the eyes, and it's just sort of you blink and all of a sudden they are a different color.
That is awesome. What does it remind me? It reminds me of something from X-Men.
When Mystique changes,
Mystique.
yeah.
Yep.
When she changes into the general or whatever it is in Days of Future Past. Yep.
Sweet. That is awesome.
Yep. Very similar idea, except no feathery bits.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, so it seems like when she changes, like that is actually her. Mm-hmm. She's changing. It's not like how when you're a dwarf and somebody touches you, they go through the dwarf first to touch the kobold underneath. So
I think I have my jaw drops and I just stare at her. Like I think it's amazing. I can't do stuff like that.
And I don't even really notice. I'm sort of in my own little world headspace.
Awesome. Silver, you're still looking pretty beat up, aren't you?
Well, because we took the short rest, so I used hit dice, but yeah, I'm still feeling it.
Okay.
I'm just not as bad as I was, so.
Okay. Cool. So you guys approach.
I would have waved at the crew members though, like put my hand up so they knew it was, us coming in with the wolf.
Yeah, these were crew members that you guys have probably saw during dinner while you guys were on board the ship when you guys delivered the food up from the kitchen. But they weren't two that you really probably had much conversation with. So even though they know who you are and saw you, they saw this massive wolf coming in too. And they're like, I'm out of here. It just disappeared in the ship somewhere.
Franklin, don't you think you should turn back into your real form? You're kind of scaring people. And the animal. Oh, all right.
I'm just gonna look on my back where the pregnant lady is, and be like, I'm carrying her. Kind of give that look.
I'm sorry, Miss. Are you able to walk, or
is she awake?
Do you need?
She's unconscious. She looks absolutely exhausted. Like she looks beat a little bit, maybe. Couple cuts and scrapes on her face.
I will try to pick her up and carry her instead of Franklin doing it.
Okay.
In the wolf form.
All right.
I don't know how you're gonna get her if she's on my back.
Silver's tall. Silver's pretty tall.
Direwolves aren't like
yeah, you're
gigantic.
Right. Yeah, you're considered a large creature, but you're still on all fours, so he could probably reach up and kind of pull her off. But yeah, you're able to pull her off into your arms. She's rather small for a dwarf. Pretty slender build, long ponytails to both sides. Just looks like she's had a rough go.
Do I recognize her at all? Like from the ship or anything?
Make an intelligence check.
16.
You do actually. Now that you see her outside of the cave. A day before you left. Well, probably not the day before you left, probably a couple days before you left the dredging ship, there were 2 people that came aboard the ship. And one of them was a male dwarf that was dressed very elegantly, almost looked like a kind of like a priest of some sort, but with armor on, a breastplate. And now that you're thinking about it, the breastplate that you found in the cave looked a lot like that one that he was wearing. He had weapons. He had a big white kind of cape that draped down to the back of his boots. Pretty big dwarven, almost, it's blonde, but it was like blondish white beard. And this woman was accompanying him. You didn't have any like contact with them, other than you remember having to prepare a special meal for these visitors. Didn't hear their names or anything like that. You just knew that the visitors probably were here to talk to the captain.
When Silver takes the lady, I will shift back, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on her, and I healed her for 9.
Oh, you healed her, the lady, for 9? Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, as Silver's holding her, she starts to come to a little bit, but it's almost like just she's still, even though you've healed some of her wounds and things, she's still absolutely exhausted. Doesn't seem like she'd be able to carry on a full conversation. Looks like she just needs to rest.
I will carry her to one of the rooms that I know that we were supposed to sleep in.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We got showed. I'll
Yeah.
attempt to carry her there and lay her down in a bed.
Oh, absolutely. You have no problem doing that whatsoever.
And I'm going directly to the captain's chamber.
Okay. And you approach the captain's chamber, and it's almost like as if you get ready to knock on the door of the captain's chamber, it opens right before you get a chance to knock. And the door just creaks open rather quickly. Almost as if he like knew or saw you coming. And opens up the door and is like, "Oh! Raz! You've returned!"
Yes, sir. We took care of it. There shouldn't be any more issue with coal being stolen.
Are you serious? You did it? You took care of it?
I had much help.
This is great! This is great! And he kind of grabs you by the shoulders and just like excitedly kind of like shakes you just a little bit. It's just...
I sort of stiffen like, what's going on?
This is such good news! And then he like takes both his hands and sticks them on your cheeks. It's like, oh, I can't believe it! This is great! Oh, I'm so relieved. Oh, but hold on. We've got so much to do.
There was another thing we found, sir.
Yes.
Do you remember, say a week, maybe 2 ago, we had some dwarven guests on the ship? They were here for a night?
Yes. I remember. And,
We found the woman.
you found her?
Yes, and, I believe that the male may have been killed. We saw armor that matched his.
That is not good.
May I ask what they were doing?
That was my old friend Brom Stormwind. And he called her his associate. But I believe it was perhaps his wife, Anaya. It was a dwarven friend of mine. You see, I must be honest, Raz. I wasn't getting any help from Dominic on this matter. Frankly, I don't trust him, and I don't think he trusts me. So I called in a bit of a favor. I brought Brahm here because, well, people kept on talking about demon creatures and people going missing into the forests. I thought maybe a cleric of Torm could clean it up for me.
I understand your reasoning. I'm just sorry that it was incorrect.
I was trying to keep quiet about it, just because I didn't want Dominic to sniff it out, you know?
Yes, sir.
But it's a shame. If I would have known it was going to be this much trouble, I would have never sent him in such a dangerous place.
Well, perhaps you being there when his companion wakes up could give her reassurance. She seemed in rather a bad way.
I will take me to her. I will go to her.
As we sort of walk, I would ask if are there any healers still on board?
Unfortunately, no.
Then we should take her to Woodhurst.
We do have.
Needs-
Did have Garielle, but she's now in Woodhurst.
Yes. And I think perhaps a female healer would be of the most comfort to her.
That sounds good to me. Whatever we can do. And he sort of it gestures for you to lead him, you know, in the direction of where she's resting.
I would lead him down.
He's still.
In the meantime, could I have cast like Druid Craft to make like a meadow of flowers in this room?
Yeah, absolutely. Like with the woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
because that's where I'm at, and I'd like to make a medicine check just to see how the baby is doing,
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's possible.
Absolutely. Go right on ahead.
Okay, that is 20 total.
You sense a heartbeat. The baby seems to be fine and healthy.
Okay.
Could be, you know, maybe a little bit of stress, but other than that, seems to be healthy. From
Okay,
Vix
good.
is very confused as to why he's looking at her belly.
yeah, like, what? How would you be doing that, Franklin? Like, what is Vix seeing as you do this?
He probably put like what a turtle's ear would be against her belly
Yeah.
and feel her belly just to make sure the baby's okay.
Yeah, Silver and Vix, you guys are both watching Franklin is just like giant turtle head, poking the belly a little bit, puts his ear back down. That was odd. As soon as I went like poke poke, there was like a hammer hitting something in the music in the background. So it was like dig dig dig.
Is
And
he
then
okay?
after
Is
that,
there a reason?
Baby's kicking!
The baby is okay.
What? Baby. Babies come from eggs.
For me, babies also come from eggs. For some people, they don't.
That's not true. All babies come from eggs.
Trust me, I
I've
have
seen
helped give birth to other animals.
I've seen eggs.
Sometimes they come out live.
Silver's just not gonna say anything about this conversation.
Silver's like Homer Simpson into the shrub.
Yeah. He just walks out the door.
Doesn't even make sense. How are they protected? They don't have shells.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this is about when we get down to. So we just see like Silver backing out of the room slowly.
Hey Fire Frostbolt, thank you so much for the subscription. We appreciate it.
Is everything all right, Silver?
Yeah, she's just sleeping, and Franklin was apparently checking. She is pregnant. He said the baby's fine.
I'm sure she'll be glad to hear that.
And the room is covered in flowers.
It is
And-
beautiful
and-
flowers.
Did that.
Her stomach isn't an egg.
Vix
I'm gonna
also
leave
doesn't
the
understand.
captain in.
Yeah, the captain kind of just moves past you guys having this conversation in the hall, moves in, is a little bit just looks around the room, sees all these flowers growing everywhere, and then just kind of ignores it and just sits down next to her. He seems to gesture and take her hand in his and just kind of just doing some, just like kind of checking her pulse and just little things that he knows how to do. He's no doctor or anything like that, but he knows just some general things like that. And
Captain, can't you tell them that everything comes from an egg?
he kind of looks at you, Franklin, and looks back down at the young lady. Well, look, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
The egg. How could the chicken be born if there was no egg? Everything comes from the egg.
But how can there be an egg if there was no chicken?
The egg just appeared.
The egg just appears?
That's how I was born. I didn't have
Don't-
like, parents or anything. My egg was just there.
Your egg was just there.
Apparently.
I'm learning new things every day. As the captain just scratches his beard. Perhaps we should have this conversation some other time. And he just gestures to the young lady sitting there. Who looks like she's just exhausted and worn out. And so,
Just wander away. I'm really confused now.
are you guys all headed out into the hallway?
Before, like, sort of when the captain goes in, I would pull Silver, like, keep him from going back into the room.
Okay.
Silver, I need to talk to you.
Okay. About what?
Can you take her to Woodhurst? There's a healer there who can look after her.
I'm sure we could do that.
Can you let Dominic know what we found?
About the lady that we...
Yes, about Miss May and that the coal won't be an issue anymore. And apologize that we haven't found the Brown Scout, but I need to go. I can't stay here.
Why is that?
I just you know too much, and I need to go. I'm sorry. It's not safe anymore.
Not safe for who? Us or you?
At this point, she's like pacing up the hallway, just like lost for words, trying to figure out how to explain this.
I mean, I personally thought we made a good team. I was looking forward to traveling with everyone still.
You don't understand.
Vic seems to like you a lot. Are you just gonna leave without saying goodbye to him?
It's not safe. Silver, anytime anyone finds out, anytime I get close to anyone, they get hurt. And you are the first people that I've felt like I could be friends with. But it's I need to go home. I can't let anything happen, and I don't...
I'm assuming this is about the other form you
Don't-
turned into?
Please, I can't have anyone here know.
Okay.
It's a special skill I have, and I've had it forever. And it's what gives me an edge. But I can't be around people who know.
Why is that?
The more people that know a secret, the less it's a secret. I'm not a cook, Silver. I live...
I mean, I figured you
I
weren't.
grew up in the shadows, and... You need to keep secrets.
I mean, I'm pretty good at keeping secrets. I'm pretty sure everybody else would too. If you need to go home, we can go with you to your home. You can take the dwarf lady to town, and then we could head home with you. If you really need to go home that bad.
I should have known you wouldn't understand. And she's gonna walk up the stairs. Just away.
Okay. Silver, you can make a perception check. Raz, you can make a perception check with disadvantage since you're in shambles right now.
Yeah. That's fair.
3.
Oh, great.
10.
Raz, surprisingly enough, Raz, even though in your like, Silver's just really confused right now. He's not really sure what's happening, so he's just like, "What just happened?" As you're walking away, you walk by what you remember to be Merritt's room. Just kind of cast your glance and don't hear anything. You don't really hear anything on this floor whatsoever. Like, there are literally almost no crew members left. Just all is quiet.
I continue out to the deck.
All right, Franklin and Vix, you guys kind of emerge from the room as well. What would you guys be doing? As you see Silver kind of standing there and Raz just walking away, moving out towards the deck area.
Since Franklin thinks that Raz is the smartest person here, he's gonna go to her and try to figure out what's next.
Okay, so Franklin just begins trudging down the hallway and heads up the steps, and follows Raz.
Yeah, he's gonna be looking for her. So.
Oh God.
He's doing this casually. He's in no rush.
So Raz, what would you be doing? Are you just I imagine you just having your elbows on the deck railing, looking out. Just
actually, what she does is up near the back of the boat. There's sort of a pile of barrels that, at a previous point, no one ever goes back there. They're just sort of unused, empty barrels. Mm-hmm. She had sort of arranged them so she could get in. And there's sort of a hidey hole in the back there.
Okay.
And so she sort of, once she gets on the deck, kind of ambles over to the edge, slowly makes her way to the back, makes sure no one's watching, and then sort of goes into her little pre-existing hidey hole.
Make a stealth check contested by Franklin's perception check.
That is a 12.
Oh, I beat you on the dice.
So,
because I got a 17.
Franklin actually makes it up the stairs as you're crawling into the barrel. So he just catches a glimpse of you disappearing into the barrel as he makes his way up the steps.
And
I'm not good at stealthing when I'm not in my head.
Yeah.
Straight up walks right to her. Doesn't realize she's trying to be sneaky.
Not necessarily trying to be sneaky, I'm just trying to be alone.
Yeah. No, he probably would get that, because he has a pretty good insight, but he has questions.
So okay, the thing is though, I've weaved my way into barrels, just pushing them out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some of them go rolling off to the side.
When you get to the very back, sort of right near the you just sort of see her curled up, with her head on her knees, just silently resting there.
Okay. While she's resting, Franklin is just gonna take a seat, cast Druid Craft, and a bunch of flowers start appearing again. and he'll wait until she's ready to talk.
You smell the fresh scent of field flowers. This aroma just surrounds you, Raz. And it's kind of like one of those things where you don't have to look to just feel the presence of somebody near you. Franklin is sitting right next to the barrel.
Hello, Franklin.
Well, I was sort of curious as to what the next plan is.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
The dwarf
perhaps
woman needs to get to Woodhurst. There's a healer there.
I already cured her wounds.
There's a woman healer there that'll be able to take care of her as her pregnancy progresses.
Then perhaps we should all head there together.
I can't go with you. Why don't you people understand this?
And what makes you think you can't come with us?
She just sort of rubs the bridge of her nose, like, I never thought I'd have to explain this twice in one day.
The whole scene is hilarious to me because I just imagine Franklin sitting there next to a barrel, and he's talking and hearing words come out of the barrel.
Franklin, you all know too much, and it's not safe. I need to leave.
Well, if it's not safe, it'd be safer if we're all together.
I sort of crawl out from around the barrel and then sit down and look at him.
So there's a turtle sitting down face to face with Raz.
And Franklin hasn't stopped smiling.
Of course not. Of course not. Raz is not smiling. Franklin, I've been alone my whole life. I'll be fine. I don't need you to look after me.
Don't think it as me looking after you, as more like we're looking after each other.
Obviously, none of you are going to understand.
Well, we can't understand unless you help us understand.
I've told you! What else can I tell? What else can I tell you? It's not safe. And I need to leave. What is there not to understand?
Why you feel like you need to leave.
Being around people who know who I am, who know what I am. It's not safe, okay? It's better if people don't know, and now you all know too much. What do you gotta say to that?
We all have secrets that we prefer to keep. Sometimes
well, mine
they
are
come
out. Okay? And the more people that know a secret, the less it is a secret.
Well, I'm not one to reveal secrets about myself, what I know, or other people.
Yes, but there are times when you don't have a choice. Okay? And this is all I have. And without it, or if anyone knows, I'm nothing. Okay?
You are still somebody to us.
Oh, Franklin just got some awe points.
There's
No matter
definitely
what,
like
you
a
are still
facial expression
Raz.
that flickers that she tries to hide. I don't know
But
how
see,
well
I have
I
a
do at hiding
passive
it.
insight of 16, so
Oh, I just rolled a 19 on my performance check,
Well, no.
which I think is what that would be.
Franklin, one thing that you do notice, with all this talk about secrets, like, is really as good as you are at keeping secrets and things, does jog your memory a little bit of the monastery and Myrna and Viv and Turpin, your hermit friends. This is, you really didn't ever wander too far away from the monastery for quite some time, so this has been, what, like 4 days? We've been in this campaign for 4 months, and it's only been like 4 days. It's D&D time. But yeah, it just kind of jogs your memory and kind of reminds you of those wonderful memories you have of your friends, the other hermits. And while you guys are sitting face to face, Vix is standing in the hallway with Silver, who's still very confused. What would you guys be doing at this point?
Well, Vix,
Vix takes Silver's hand and just starts walking up the stairs to go outside.
Okay, so you guys go outside. You cast your gaze out across the ship. Anything in particular you're looking for? Or you?
No.
No?
No. I mean, I guess I would look around for everybody else, but I'm really worried.
Yeah, eventually.
I just found
You
out
can
about
probably
eggs.
see Franklin. He wasn't trying.
Yeah. Eventually, you guys
Oh, no,
you guys
I'm
do
not
see Raz and Franklin out there on the deck, surrounded by field flowers, just basically almost like staring at each other. Franklin has a huge smile on his face, and Raz looks extremely like just one eyebrow up at Franklin, like, just, what are you talking about? Back and forth.
Vix wanders over and sits in Raz's lap.
You have to
I
remember,
love you, Jamie.
Raz, no matter who you are or what you are still Raz to me.
Are you sad?
I feel like in her head she's doing the like motion. Shoot me. God damn it, shoot me. It's just been a long day.
Talk about it. We're all here. I poke her on the nose.
I smile despite myself. No. None of you seem to understand, so it's not worth wasting the breath.
What am I not understanding?
Vix, I have to leave, okay?
Why?
3 times in one day. It's a record. Vix, maybe you'll understand. The other two haven't. Being what I am, it's all I have, and being around people who know is dangerous for me and for them. What I am is a secret I have kept my entire life, and if people know, then I'm nothing. And the more people that know, the more people I'm around that know, the less likely it is to stay a secret, and I just can't risk it. I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
I have to go.
If you want to leave, you can leave. It's okay.
I hug Vix.
I used to be different too, so I know how it feels. I hug her back, but I'm crying because I'm sad. And once I'm done hugging her, I just walk away.
Raz, you have this big wet spot on your shoulder from where Vix was crying on your shoulder, and it's soaked into your clothing.
I just kind of put my hand on it. And as you walk away, just sort of like not even very loud, just almost as a whisper, just I'm sorry, Vix. I'm sorry.
He doesn't turn around.
I don't even know if you heard it.
Probably not. He's too busy crying. He's like holding back, like the wailing at this point. Like, he's really sad.
I will walk with Vix.
Raz, the last thing I'll say is that if you do decide to leave, it is your choice. Just please say goodbye before you go. And then I'll get up and walk away as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna crawl back behind my barrel.
As you do, you see a little colorful butterfly with bright yellow wings. Kind of starts to make its way fluttering down towards you and just nestles down onto one of the flowers that Franklin had put up next to you. And as it nestles down, you see the tall stem of the flower kind of just bob slowly back and forth.
And then it asks, "Are you okay?"
I'm just gonna sort of like hold my hand out to it and make it look like there's a flower in my palm.
Oh.
Just by changing the skin color so that it looks like there's a flower.
Okay. A few seconds pass before it flutters over and kind of nestles onto your palm of your hand. And its wings just slowly move up and down as it's just sitting there stationary on your hand for just a moment. You can feel the tickle of its legs on the palm of your hand.
I just watch it.
Are you sad? No.
I smell it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Buggy goes flat.
No, eventually it just like sits there for a moment, and then you watch as it just takes off and flutters away.
My hand goes back to normal.
Okay. All right. So Raz is having some time. The rest of you, as you walk away, it seems like Vix is having a moment right now.
I turn around to Silver and I put my hands up to like be picked up.
I pick him up.
I nuzzle up to Silver and I just keep crying.
Is this now, based on how long you guys have been traveling together, is this the first time that this kind of breakdown has happened for Vix, or would this have been like is this an occurrence that happens regularly?
I don't think too many sad things have happened. So normally not. Normally Vix is pretty happy. Except for when Silver was like trying to kill him at first, but like
that does put a damper on the relationship.
That's it, yeah.
But no, I think things. He's normally not too sad.
So yeah, Silver, this is the most frantic you've seen Vix, but that almost like big brother kind of notion just overcomes you, and you just embrace him.
I just pat him on the back as I hold him. Even if she leaves, we can still travel together if you would like.
I know.
I'm gonna head back down and just continue to care for the woman.
Okay, sounds good. As you do that, Franklin, you're sitting there. The captain is still in there, and he's looks towards you and but Raz said something about this woman needing to get to Woodhurst. Would you and your companions be willing to make sure that she gets there?
Of course.
Oh, that'd be great. Also, while you were there, I was thinking, could you, perhaps stop by to see Valera, to let her know the great news that the threats that have stopped our operation have now been taken care of by, and he puts his hand like on the back of your shell. He's like, well, by all of you, of course. And he smiles.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Valera is?
No, I do not.
She's the dredging ship administrator. You've never met her.
Nope. Or at least Franklin never learned her name, so...
Oh yeah, because you fixed everything.
Well, maybe you
you
can
weren't paying attention.
maybe you can talk to your companions and maybe they could help lead the way.
Okay.
Fair enough. He just kind of sits there in awkward silence.
Continue to sit there.
Yeah, it's like there's this moment of just awkwardness as the captain. You guys are both looking at the woman. There's flowers all throughout the room. It's like a weird. I imagine this big odd camera, like slow zoom out. You guys are just sitting there staring at the woman.
Stays on the shot just like 30 seconds too long.
Exactly.
Awkward.
It's like just enough to admit, okay, when's the next scene coming? Silver and Vix, you guys are just kind of hanging out together. Is there anything else you guys would be talking about or anything you'd like to do?
Once Vix starts like calming down a bit, I guess we'll walk down, check on the dwarf woman also.
But he falls asleep in your arms.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I'll carry him downstairs.
You're
then.
cradling Vix like a little newborn baby.
I'm very small.
I'll carry him downstairs wherever the dwarf woman is then.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, you guys make your way down there.
What time of day is it?
By now, with some time has passed with all this conversation, I would say probably late afternoon.
Would we be able to get to Woodhurst before dark if we left now, or?
Oh yeah, no problem. It's not far away.
Franklin, did you want to go ahead and head to Woodhurst to take our friend here? See this healer that's there?
I suppose we should.
Can you carry her? Because I'm carrying Vix's, apparently sleeping.
Okay.
The captain approaches you, Silver, and is like, so, just talking to your friend here, Franklin, I believe is his name. I need, if you guys could also do me a favor while you're in Woodhurst and let Valera know that the threat has been neutralized by yours truly.
Who's Valera?
Valera, the dredging ship administrator. You don't know her either. Oh gosh. Where's Raz?
If it's the building that they went into without me, then I know the building at least.
Oh. Sure. Well, I don't know what the building is that they went in without you.
I'll go get Raz. Just turn around. Raz, the captain needs you down in the dwarf's room.
I get up and follow you back down.
We're gonna take the dwarf lady back towards Woodhurst. Hopefully you'll want to join us.
Why did the captain want to see me?
I'm assuming it's about some lady named Valera or something like that.
Oh. It's
Suppose I should make a final report to her. I guess I'll... I guess I'll go that far with you.
Okay.
As,
Back down.
okay. So you're going back down. Is Raz coming with you, or are you staying up?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. As you come in, the captain looks at you all, and he's basically just some small talk just for a little while, as he basically lets you know Valera needs to know what's going on, and for you guys to just let her know what's going on, because he doesn't really have anybody he trusts to send with all this information. He's afraid if he sends somebody else off the ship, they're just not going to come back. Which is most often the case. But he looks kind of suspicious a little bit, and then looks at you, Raz, and he's like, and one last thing. If you can find out what happened to Merritt, I'd be grateful.
He's gone.
He disappeared slightly after the time that you left. Took 2 of my crew members with him.
Who is Merritt?
Strange. Do you know what direction he went?
I do not. I didn't see him leave. Some other crew member saw him take a rowboat. But they didn't think anything of it. They thought maybe he was just going to Woodhurst to get some supplies.
I'm assuming that it was Gabriel and Otto that went with him.
Yeah, that's them. Which is odd, because I don't know. I just don't remember having paperwork for people with those names.
Strange. Very strange.
You can
I'll see what I can find.
you can check my file, if you'd like.
I may do that. Thank you.
Sure. You just
I sort of absent-mindedly walk out of the room, and I'm going to Merritt's room.
okay. You approach the door. It's shut.
I'm going to open it.
Okay, it's locked.
I'm going to pick the lock.
All right, go ahead. Make your.
I can do that. That's a thing I can do.
That's a thing you can do. Yes.
I actually don't know how I can do that, though. I've never done it before. How do I do that?
Your tools.
I believe you add your dexterity and your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay.
To the roll.
That is a 13.
All right, so it's a rather easy lock to pick. You take your lock picks in and you move the tumblers, and you can hear that familiar click. You have done this before in the past, and you've had some experience. And the door opens up into the room. And you can see just a couple of simple bunks inside. Looks like a couple of footlockers. Simple wooden... appear to look like chests, but simple things that they store their belongings in and clothing.
I am opening every container.
Okay.
Looking under all the beds, I am ransacking the place.
Okay.
Looking for anything.
Most of the items are gone. It almost seems like everything was packed up and taken with.
Is there anything?
You do find a golden chain that looks as if it went to some kind of pendant or necklace, but there's no dangling jewelry or anything from it.
I slipped that in my pocket.
Okay. Excellent.
Any papers or anything around?
Doesn't seem to be anything. The beds are neatly made.
Not anymore.
Room. Oh, you just. Yeah. Just mattress. Simple mattresses.
I'm gonna flip them over, look for any stitching that doesn't match, any holes, any pockets that might have been used to conceal anything.
Make an investigation check.
I need to stop using this dice. I haven't rolled higher than a 10 with this dice.
You guys can hear from a couple rooms over furniture being shifted across the floor. You hear thuds and bangs and things being opened.
I only got a 12.
I will walk over there to see what's going on.
Yeah, as you walk by, Raz is ripping this room apart, tipping over mattresses off onto the floor. And it almost looks like she's like she's in a zone. She's got this look to her. She's just searching anything that she can find. But it's almost like she's so focused, she's not seeing her peripherals very well, and she's not catching glimpses of different things. It's just like almost like she's just almost like a it's like a little bit of a rage as she's going through here.
He owes me.
But yeah, it seems like the room has been cleaned out it just looks like if you were going to move into this room, it would just be how it's furnished. The foot lockers are empty. Other than that chain, that's all you really seem to find.
After I'm satisfied that there's nothing in there, I'm just going to leave it sort of in a shambles because I'm upset and pull the door closed and lock it again.
Okay.
And then I think I would notice that Silver was just sort of staring at me.
Yeah, as soon as
I'm
you
still
shut...
curled up in his arms.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Merit.
Yeah, the jerk, right?
Yeah, he owes me. And now he's gone.
I mean,
And you don't run out on your debts.
we could help you find him if you wanted us to.
I start walking to the captain's quarters to look at his files.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. So I'm gonna follow her.
Okay. Franklin, are you still sitting in the room, or are you gonna follow the crew? Follow the rest?
I'm gonna wait until they say we're ready to go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stay with the woman since I have to carry.
Okay. So you're taking your time, caring for her. Make another medicine check for me, Franklin.
17.
Nice. Your healing spell that you cast on her and just this wonderful aroma that you placed in the room with all these nice wildflowers is really doing wonders for her rest. You feel like that she's going to make a full recovery, no problem, and within a day or two she'll be back on her feet. So well done.
Good.
Well done, Franklin. The rest of you head up to the captain's quarters, and there's just a simple file cabinet there. This is currently unlocked and actually open, and it looks like the captain himself was going through files. And
I'm much more careful with these not to, like, make them go everywhere.
okay, there is a file for Merritt. The name is Merritt McCormick. But it's odd. It's almost as if there's a name and some simple things filled out, but there's no address. There's no in-depth information for Merritt listed on this paperwork. You don't find any paperwork at all for Gabriel and Otto. It just doesn't exist.
I curse quietly under my breath.
Did you find something?
No, and that's the issue. They're not here. And that's... I sort of hold up Merritt's, like, documents. I'm like, that's classic cover-up. Odds are that's not even his real name. We have nothing to find him by.
Well, I guess we'll be traveling together for a while then.
I shoot him a glare. I don't need your help.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but we want to help.
We
That's
should
what
get going
friends
to
do.
Woodhurst. I wouldn't know. We should get going to Woodhurst.
I mean, I wouldn't either, but I like to imagine that's what friends do.
That actually causes Raz to pause.
Mm.
And just sort of, like, look for a second, but then continues out the room back to the Dwarven lady's room.
Okay.
I'll follow her.
And as Silver follows with Vix, unconscious and sleeping in his arms, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. As we continue on in our adventures here at Delve and Dash. Wonderful job, everybody. That was incredible. Everybody take a point of DM's inspiration for the wonderful roleplay tonight.
Oh, I already have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same here.
Take.
too,
Hey,
actually.
because take 2. Because
Man, alright.
since we only play for about an hour and 10 minutes each time, you guys can hold on to 2.
Okay.
Cool.
Because sometimes it's hard to use them. Because if we, I don't even think. Well, I think everybody at least rolled once tonight,
Yeah.
except for maybe Vix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't roll it.
Didn't roll it. Wow, that was great. Great episode, guys. Those of you that tuned in with us tonight, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned tonight for Mystic Hour. Christy is doing a special character art episode with one of our players from Wednesday, or Dungeon Master from Wednesday's Wish, Inkweaver. They're going to be doing some live character art, I believe, tonight on Mystic Hour. So make sure you guys check that out. That's going to be really cool. I'm excited about watching that as well. That comes on at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, give or take. So make sure you guys tune into that. It's still up in the air. We may have to start next week's episode a little bit late. So just so you guys know, it could be up to 30 minutes late, depending on our streaming schedule. I have a function at work that I don't get out of until 7 o'clock. So I still want to get together and run, but some things got to happen to make sure that we can do that. So I will keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys, all our viewers posted. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add or shout out before we call it a night?
How dare you have a life other than us?
You are not allowed to work, Michael.
We deserve all your time.
You're gonna DM forever, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah, that's right.
No break.
I'm stuck in Dungeons and Dragons fantasy land all my life. That's
What you don't know is that the door behind you is actually locked and he can never escape the room.
I can't leave.
Hold on. You're not supposed to tell them that.
I'm not telling them that he's shackled to the chair.
Okay. That's fair.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much. Make sure you tune in next week. I'll keep you guys posted on the start time. It just might be just a little late. So until next time, hey guys, don't forget to add that proficiency bonus, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.